And by the way, how awesome is it that you have internet?
I know. I was going to say, good thing I signed up when I did, or else I would not have had internet. Okay, so I'm just going to share my screen. I have a little PowerPoint I prepared. Okay. It's been a little while. Slideshow from the beginning. Okay, so hi everybody, and welcome to tonight's Team Project Fearless call. It is Monday, February 5th, 2018. My name is Katie Mazur, for those of you who don't know me. A little bit more about myself. So I have been coaching for just shy of 4 years. I signed up in May of 2014. I am a 2-star diamond. I am an SC5 legend. I've made Success Club 45 months consecutively, so every month since I signed up in May of 2014. I am also a wife to my husband, Brandon, as of 2016. I'm also an amateur dog mom to our new little golden pup named Stella we got a few weeks ago. I'm an auntie to my niece Kylie and my nephew Carson. I'm super family centered. I'm obsessed with all of my friends, and I'm a 2-star diamond coach. I also am a pharmacy business manager at Maine Medical Center, so the local hospital in Portland. And so I work about, anywhere from 40 to 60 hours a week, depending on the time of the month and the time of the year. So work this business in every little crevice possible during my day. So tonight I just wanted to share with you guys a little bit about how I have kind of dug myself out of a little rut that I was experiencing. I don't know what was in the air in 2017, but I think it was a difficult year for a lot of us for whatever reason. I know personally I just had a lot of stuff going on. We built our first home, which put a lot of stress, on our finances, on our marriage, on our time, on my business. And so I didn't have internet for 4 months, insert excuse here. But I just had a lot going on, and I was kind of riding the struggle bus for a lot of the time last year. And I say that, but I still hit SC6 minimum every month. Usually it was SC10, but I knew even though that is my struggle bus, it was because it wasn't my potential at all. And so everybody's struggle bus looks a little different, but so I kind of just wanted to share with you tonight a little bit about how I dug myself out of the little rut that I was going through, and what I've been doing the past few months that actually led me to get my highest Success Club numbers and help the most amount of people in January. So first and foremost is definitely personal development, but not just opening a book and reading the 15 pages so I could check off that box kind of guiltily what I've been doing for the last 4 years. I've read a lot of leadership books that have helped. I've read a lot of business books that have definitely helped, but where I have definitely slacked on is the personal stuff, and really taking time to dig in deep to that, which I have been dedicating the past few months to really working through some internal struggles that I've been dealing with, which has been huge for me and my business. I think, most of the top coaches that you listen to will tell you that personal development is probably the number one vital behavior that you should be doing. And it was definitely the last one that I did. And it was definitely not as deep as I've been doing the past few months, which has definitely helped. So that's number one. And with that, at the end of 2017, I really had to sit down and take a look at my business, where I was at that point, so I could assess where I needed to go. And I set specific goals for 2018, and I broke them down to a roadmap so I knew where I was going and how I was going to get there. So I highly recommend that if you haven't done that yet this year. Rediscovered my why. So if you've been a coach for a little while, or even if you're a new coach, definitely you realize that throughout this journey of coaching, you're going to have different reasons for why you're coaching. When I signed up 4 years ago, it was to pay $200 to my monthly college loan payment that my parents were contributing at the time. I quickly did that within the first week of coaching. And then it started to be like, okay, well, I'll pay the whole, or I'll shoot to get the whole $700 payment with just coaching money. And then I did that within the first couple of months. And so you'll see that your goals will definitely change as you go, but don't forget to take the time to sit down. And if you're not shooting for something, or say you've already reached it, like ours for a while was to get married and to pay for our wedding with beach bunny money. And then after that, it was to build our house. And we did that. We started that process in April of last year. So basically from April until the end of the year, I didn't have a why. I didn't have anything that I was shooting for. And so I think that's also a lot to do with why I was coming up short, is because I didn't know why I was coaching, or why I needed SC6 or 10 or 20 or whatever I was shooting for. So definitely rediscovering your why and taking the time if you don't know why you are coaching. And then something that happened for me personally is I realized the true potential behind this business. And I started working it like a business. And this can mean whatever it means for you. If you only want to coach to cover your Shakeology every month, then talk with your coach and set up a game plan to do that. If you just want to be a hobby coach and, earn a few $100s a month, you can do that too. If you want to go full time, if you want to make $5,000 a month, like, this business is whatever you want it to be, and you can mold it to fit your goals. But for me personally, like I think I mentioned before, I am a pharmacy business manager at Maine Medical Center. And last year, again, it was a very trying year for me in a lot of different parts of my life. But I think I have, through my personal development and self-reflection these last few months, I've realized that I self-identify a lot with my full-time job. It's something I'm super proud of. And so, my whole life, I went to school, I got good grades, I went to college, I went to graduate school, I got my MBA, I did all the things that I was supposed to, and I landed this amazing job out after I graduated college. I got a promotion. It was my dream job, right? And so it was, when I started 5 years ago, just to put it into perspective, we were a pharmacy department that I managed a budget of about $50 million a year. And then it quickly grew within, the 5 years that I've been there to about 100 million. And I'm the sole person overseeing all of that. And so it's a lot of hard work. It's a lot, I put my blood, sweat, tears into it. And towards the middle of the year last year, they were dividing the department because it's so big, and they needed specialized units. And I just assumed, well, I'll still be overseeing both sides. They're not going to take this from me. I built this. This is my baby. And so, but they did. There was no communication. There wasn't anything. And so for me, I could have done one of two things. I could have gotten really discouraged and depressed and all of that stuff, or I could do what I did, and I could take that energy and put it into my business and realize, as much as I love my full-time job, and as much as I worked so hard for it, at the end of the day, no matter how hard I work, no matter how many hours I put in, I don't get more. I don't get more money. I don't get more respect. I don't get more of those things. But if you take that energy and you put it into your business, you can have whatever you want. It's solely up to you. How hard you work, how long you work, how, the effort that you put in will be rewarded. And so for me, that was a huge aha moment, a huge realization that I came to last year, or pretty much towards the end of the last year, when I actually took the time to reflect on how I was feeling and what happened to me last year. And so I've put all of that energy into my business. And I think that's a lot of the reason that I've been, getting some success over the past few months. And I upped my PD game for real. So I didn't just read a book to check off that box in your power hour. I've been notorious for that, but I'm actually working through my shit, and it's been pretty emotional actually. But it's been really good because I've been able to dig into all the crap that I've gone through in my life, and I'm a lot more relatable. I'm a lot more, vulnerable, real, raw on Facebook. And I think that's helped me gain a lot of followers as well. So find the joy in the process of reaching your goals. I think for a while, and I know I've talked to some people that have felt this way as well, of thinking coaching is a burden, or thinking it's not fun, or it's sucking the life out of you, or it's not joyful. And I'll be honest, I've gone through that. But what I've done is, aside from diving into PD, which will make you realize more of the joy in this business once you work through your struggles, I think. But I've just changed my mindset about the way that I think about it. And something that I do, and maybe it will help you, is when I get home from work and I'm getting ready to jump into my workout, I need to do some things to get me in the right mindset to find joy in my workout, or, to have fun during my workout. And so I will obviously drink my Energize and crank. Right now I'm really obsessed with Eminem's new album. If you haven't listened to it, you have to. It's so good. And so I crank that up and I dance around my little workout room, and I get in a happy mindset, and so that I can have a great workout. And so I do that same thing when I'm getting ready to work my business and to sit down and do, my power hour or my business hours. I get into my really comfy clothes, maybe take a shower after my workout, maybe not, I don't know. And so I get my comfy clothes, I get my wine glass full of seltzer water because I'm following 80-day obsession, and I have the Kardashians in the background, or something that I like, or something I enjoy, and I go to my favorite place in my house, and I make it fun the same way I would my workout. And I feel like it's been a lot more fun to work my business when I'm in a happy space. So, and change your mindset about coaching. I kind of just talked about that, but you guys, we don't have to coach. Like, we get to coach. And when I say that, I mean, like, we get to change people's lives. Like, that's kind of crazy when you think about it. Like, you have a direct impact on somebody's life, whether it be helping them be more comfortable in their skin, or help them reach their highest paycheck, or be able to retire from their full-time jobs, or whatever it might be. Like, that's such an awesome, awesome thing. And when you focus on that and you think about that when you are reaching out at night or doing something in this business that might be not as fun as whatever you do like in this business, like, just think about that. You get to change somebody's life. So it's worth the, stepping out of your comfort zone to reach out to people, or whatever it is in this business that you might not love. Just think about that at those times. And then another thing, in the past few months has just been belief in myself. And I heard Autumn say it in the weekly obsession that, just resonated with me, is you're only as capable as your mindset. You have to believe 110% that you can do this. And that brought me back to the New Leaders Conference last year. I think I shared this before, but Jeff Hill had said, do you believe that anybody in this business can be successful? And, everybody was like, yeah, totally. But then he stopped and he was like, okay, but answer this. Do you think you can be successful in this business? And a lot of people had to stop and think, like, why do you think somebody else, oh yeah, without a doubt, you can be successful in this business? But when it was answering it about themselves, a lot of people had to stop and think, and maybe realize that they didn't have 110% belief in themselves. And even just last month, I know Joan shared at the beginning of the call that I had my highest month earning of $3,500, and it was super awesome to me. And I was doing out all of my expenses, and with my income and stuff, and I was matching them up against each other, and I was like, whoa. I was like, I paid for all my bills, and I could still have money left over. And I was like, I like literally crunched the numbers like 87 times. And like I said, I work with $100 million budget, and I still had to do it like 100 times because I was like, there's no way this is possible. Like, how? I just had fun this month, and it was my highest paycheck, like, or my highest earning in the month. And I couldn't believe it. And so I sent Joan a message, and I was kind of like, whoa, like, could I be a full-time coach? And her first response wasn't, she didn't dive right in about, that's awesome, you $3,500. She's like, wait, she's like, of course you could be a full-time coach. Like, you do know you could be a full-time coach, right? And I cried, obviously, I'm a crier, but it made me realize that I didn't have 100% belief in myself that I could do this full time, or, that I am a great coach, because, that was just my reaction to that. And so definitely started to believe in myself a lot more over this last month and gain a lot of confidence in my coaching abilities. So next, so I'm a very visual person. So I figure I would give like an example of kind of what I had talked about in that slide. So I love this quote. Again, I saw it on a Weekly Obsession. If you don't know, I clearly have a major girl crush on Autumn right now. She said, if you don't have a goal, you're much more likely to quit. And I thought that was such a good point. And not only just in our workouts, but also our businesses. Like, if you don't know what you're shooting for every month, if it's, if you don't have a goal, then you'll just stop. You'll just be like, okay, I guess I've worked enough tonight, or okay, I guess I've worked enough this week, this month. But if you have a goal, you're going to keep going until you reach whatever goal it is that you have. So I thought that was super cool. And so this is just an example for me of what my kind of year looks like, or I break it down. And so I encourage you all to take the time to sit down and figure out what goals you want to reach this year for your business, for your, personal life. And then the how, writing out a clear roadmap of what it is that you want to achieve those goals. And you can just take a peek at that. And then next, I definitely have to say, this is, with personal development, this has definitely been the reason for my success, is being proof the product works and really sharing my journey on social media. So if you haven't started 80-day obsession, like, do it, because this has blown up all of our businesses. I mean, like, Joan had 75 Success Club points last month or the month before. Meg had like 35 or something crazy. I had 30 last month. Like, it's the launch party group. I think I'm skipping ahead a few slides, but it's just, it sells itself, the program. I mean, the test groups, Joan's results, like all of that. Even before I was doing this program, I was sharing those results, and it's amazing. And so if you haven't started 80-day obsession for whatever reason, I highly, highly recommend you do it, because it's going to blow your business up. So number one, I committed to following 80-day obsession to a T. Broke out my old containers. Were a little rusty, haven't used them in a while. And I really just committed to not only following that program, but sharing my journey through social media the same way that I did, a few years ago. The good, the bad, the ugly, not just sharing, oh, I got my workout in today, did you? Or never miss a Monday, or kind of the things that I had been sharing. Like, I was looking at my post prior to 80-day obsession, and I was like, was I even working out? Like, how come my posts were so surface level? They were so, I don't know. Like, I just think when you commit to something to a T and you're following it, and you're going through not just the physical transformation, but the internal transformation, you're going to have amazing posts to share with your audience that's going to be more relatable to them. So when you're sharing, be vulnerable, be authentic, be you, share a lot of you. It's called Facebook for a reason. They want to see you. And so I became a challenger again, prior to 80-Day Obsession, when I was leading my challenge groups, which the We Are Obsessed group is so amazing. It's been so much fun doing challenge groups together with the team again. I think that's been huge for my business as well, not feeling like I have all the burden on myself running the challenge groups. And I've been a challenger in the groups. If I'm struggling, if I'm crying, I'm posting it in the group. I'm being real, and I'm just sharing what I would share, with my best friends, which is a lot different than my challenge groups prior to 80-Day Obsession. For whatever reason, I was being like, drink this much water every day and never miss a Monday and flex Friday and just all this stuff that really is kind of boring and not me at all. And so I think being a challenger again in your challenge groups just makes them more fun, and it makes everybody feel like they can share as well when you open up. And another thing that I did that I thought was really smart, so I wanted to share it with you. I sat down because I had gained a significant amount of weight back after the craziness that was last year. And I just took the time to write out exactly what I was feeling. I think I have like 3 pages of exactly how I was feeling, because I know when I was at my goal weight prior to being a ding dong last year, was I had a hard time trying to relate to people or trying to remember how it felt to feel like crap and to feel like I did before Beachbody or before these programs helped me get amazing results. And so I really took that time to journal and write how I was feeling. And so that when I post moving forward, because I'm not going backwards, I'm not going to be that girl on the left ever again. I'll remember how I felt at that time so that I can, for future purposes, post and direct my post as I'm talking to her. And yeah, so I started sharing a lot more, non-scale victories, every little bit of my journey that I can share, I share. I don't care if I'm annoying people. I'm having so much fun with 80-Day Obsession, and I feel so good that it just takes me back to when I started Beachbody. I feel like I'm just so excited that I'll scream it from the rooftops, and you're going to annoy some people or you're going to inspire people. I'd rather not give a shit if I'm annoying people and care about the couple people that I'm inspiring. And so I've started sharing a ton more than I was. And I will tell you, and I know it's obviously had something to do with January being a lot more people are wanting to commit to their goals, but half of the Success Club points that I made this year were people reaching out to me saying, hey, I saw your post about this. Hey, I saw your post about that, because I upped my sharing. And I stopped caring like, oh wait, I already did a before and after 2 months ago, so I probably can't share one today. Like, I just started posting from my heart, and when I felt like my audience needed to see what I was sharing. So and again, for those visual people like me, here are some of the examples of the things that I have been sharing since starting 80-Day Obsession. And I know a lot of the other people, other coaches have also been sharing is your before and afters after every week. I encourage you to share them no matter what, even if you don't think that there's a change. Like, I kind of see it now actually, but I was super bummed that this photo, which is my week 3 results, I didn't think that they looked as good as my week 2 results. And so I was kind of discouraged about that, but I shared it anyways, because people are going to relate to how you're feeling. It's more about, for me personally anyway, is how I'm feeling and what's changing there. That's going to resonate with somebody more than just the before and after picture standing next to each other. So regardless if you think there's a change, I encourage you to put yourself out there and to share these before and afters each week. And then, okay, you haven't started 80-day obsession yet, or you are sick of just posting just yourselves. There are, I don't know how many people were in the initial test group, but like 100 plus, I don't know. But so there was a crap ton of people who got amazing results. Our leader of our team, for one. And so the launch party group has a bazillion before and after photos that you can go and snag, and you can go to their social media platforms and kind of learn a little bit more about them. And so you're not just saying, oh, hey, here's this girl that I don't know is before and afters. You can, hey, this is Melissa McAllister. Look at X, Y, and Z and tell a little bit about her story that she shared. And another good part about this is when I shared Melissa's before and afters, for example, I don't have a great body or a great ass at the moment. And so when I shared that, I actually gained some new followers or people reaching out to me that I had chatted with in the past that they were just like, I don't need to lose weight. And even though, in my conversations, I was like, well, it's not just weight loss, yada, yada, yada. When they see these results that are maybe a little different from yours, they're like, oh, like I'm already at my goal weight, but I'd love to have her ass. And so the cool part about even the We Are Obsessed group, if you're in there, is you can get to know everybody else's story and share those on your social media as well, because maybe your audience can relate to them a little bit more than you. Like Brittany and Sarah over here, they have amazing results and they're moms, they're new moms. And so me sharing that on my social media is helping maybe some new moms that can't relate to my journey. But they can relate to Sarah or Brittany's. And so taking those transformations from other people and sharing it on your social media as well has been super helpful for me. And it's not just all about before and afters. Share every single day. Again, it doesn't have to be like, this is easy for me, or never miss a Monday, I sweat today, or anything like that. Like, it can be how you're feeling. How did that workout make you feel? Did you feel stronger? Did you feel frustrated? Did you want to choke yourself with the bands because they were slipping and sliding all down your thighs? Or just digging deep into, or thinking after your workouts and reflecting and showing them on your page has been helpful for me as well, because people have been watching my journeys every day. And so they're excited on Sunday when I post my before and afters, because they're seeing me go through the journey. And so next, inviting and following up, I've definitely upped my game on both of this. So with the launch of 80-Day Obsession and starting the group and starting the new year, I started with my current customers and my discount coaches and my coaches. So I wrote out, or I actually exported it to Excel. I had a huge list of all of my customers, all of my discount coaches and my coaches, and I voice messaged a lot of them, probably the majority of them, because it was super, super easy, and you can knock them all out and send the same, thing to multiple people and let them know about, I even added some to the launch party if they weren't quite sure if they wanted to commit to it. A lot of people were just saying, yeah, I love these programs and I'm already doing this, and I already have BOD. So yeah, I would love to recommit and do 80-Day Obsession with you. And so that got a lot of volume going through my business. That got a lot of people excited and who are now sharing it on social media, who otherwise probably wouldn't be right now. But everybody's super jazzed up about 80-Day Obsession right now. And so they're sharing it on their wall. More people are thinking about coaching because they're falling in love with these programs again and the results that they're getting. And so that was super huge to kind of reach out to people that you've already kind of signed before or who have committed before, and getting them to re-engage or recommit. And then I upped my inviting game on my posts. I was doing more call to action posts. I was on my Insta stories. I was sharing before and afters and doing the polls and all that stuff and inviting on there, on my Instagram posts, as well as directly through Messenger and reaching out to people, inviting them that way. And just another piece is when you're excited and you're joyful, which I'm pretty sure the majority of people who are doing 80-day obsession are feeling this way. It really shows in every single thing that you do. When you're posting on social media, I just feel like it radiates through there, and your combos that you're having through Messenger and your challenge groups. Like when you're in a place and you're following a program to a T and you're getting those results and you're just feeling so healthy and so amazing, it's going to have just an amazing effect on your business, because people are going to feel that and they're going to want some of that, whatever, you know. And so that's been huge for me. And I started to remember the who behind the Success Club points, and it totally changed my mindset. I kind of reworded it. Like before I was like, okay, I'm at SC5 or SC10, I can stop now. And then I kind of changed the wording for that. And I was like, how would it make me feel if I said, all right, I've helped 3 people this month, I don't have to help anyone else, or I don't want to help anyone else. It's like once you start remembering that these aren't just points that you're racking up, these are actually people's lives, it makes you want to keep going. It's like, okay, no, I want to help 10 people this month. And then you help, I don't know. For me personally, it gives me an extra excitement or urge to help more people when I'm thinking of, oh, one more person in 80-day obsession, like that's one more person I can change their life, and another person that I can add to the transformation stories and all of that stuff. And so really focusing on the people instead of the Success Club points has also been huge for me. And use the launch party, guys. And I know Joan posted something recently in Project Fearless, which was amazing. It's exactly what I'm doing, so I'm not going to go a ton into that. But reaching out to them, sending them the packages, adding them to the launch party, tagging them in that initial post, reaching back out to them to see if they watched it, following the conversation template from there has literally been a game changer. Like, it's amazing. So do that if you haven't. And then here are just some examples of the inviting that I've been doing. You can take a picture or a screenshot or something. I won't spend too much time on this again, because I do think Meg touched on this on her call recently, and Joan may have posted the samples in the page with that post. I can't quite remember, but basically just your current customers and discount coaches, reaching out to them, saying like the new program just launched, asking them if they want to be added to the launch party. And then prospects you've been chatting with, I know you haven't been able to commit in the past, but again, this new program, I'm loving it, seeing results. You want me to add to the launch party? And then I'm still donating as well here and there, and just sending out an invite and inviting them to the launch party. So those are.
Hey, Katie.
Yeah.
So we have lots of new people on the call. Can you just explain what a donut is real quick?
Okay. Yeah. So a donut is kind of like a cold call, if you will. So even if you've never chatted with somebody before, it's kind of like, it's something, I still do it. I don't know why. I was in a group with Carl, and he recommended doing it. Like the first thing you do when you wake up is to send out 5 donuts, almost to warm yourself up. And so it's just somebody you've never chatted with before, just sending them like a cold invite. And this is an example to the far right of just a donut that you would send somebody that you haven't really chatted with before. I also use it. I still call it a donut when it is maybe I've talked to somebody about their summer plans or their vacation, but I've never actually invited them to a challenge group before. We never quite got around to that. I also call that a donut too. I don't know if that's right, but so those are my examples of kind of invites that I've been doing to the launch party. And then another piece is I started sharing a lot more about what coaching has done for me, and it's starting to attract a lot of new builders. I think I have like 6 newbies in the past few months that are all wanting to build, which is super, super exciting. So, and I know that has come from the way that I've been posting to social a little bit differently than previously. So I sat down, because again, once you've been doing this for a while, you can kind of start to forget little things that Beachbody has done for you. And so recently I just sat down and wrote all the things that Beachbody has done for me and has changed for me and my family in the past 4 years, and thought of ways in which that I can create coaching posts around those things, and to maybe somebody relates with that, and so they can be of different things, like how Beachbody has changed your life physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, the lifestyle, the community. Just like a short story, this weekend I actually went out to brunch with a few of my friends from college, and they had just said, oh, I love your Beachbody post, you're so relatable, blah 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 blah. And then once we got talking, they were just kind of saying, like, this is so awesome, we need to do this more, we need to get together. How often do you have the community like this? Like, we have our significant other now and maybe like one best friend, but we don't have a group of girls like this that we can hang out. We need to make this a monthly thing. And it was just so cool to think I do have that. And it just made me realize that something that I know that I have, some of my best friends are on this team, but I kind of forgot that if I wasn't coaching, I wouldn't have such a huge community of girls that I can hang out with on the weekends or whatever. And so it was just really cool things like that you don't even realize that coaching has done for your life. So really taking the time to think about things like that and jotting them down in your note section or whatever, so that at a later date you can craft a post about those things is pretty cool. And then, who were you before Beachbody? What did that person want? Did they want to pay off their student loan debt? Did they want to stop getting $200 off their parents every month? Like, what did you want before Beachbody? And direct your post to that person. You're going to be a lot more relatable if you picture that person as your target audience and start crafting posts specifically to that person instead of trying to relate to everybody, because at the end of the day, you're not going to. You are who you are, and you're going to attract the people that you can relate to, and that make it, you attract your tribe. And so, really relating your post to a specific person, you before Beachbody, and find ways in which you can relate everyday life to coaching. So kind of what I just said this weekend, like, I was just out with girls, and it reminded me of the lifestyle and community that I have now because of Beachbody that I wouldn't otherwise, and just different things like that. And again, examples. These are kind of just a few that I've seen just in the last couple of months that I've done, which if I was scrolling before that, there were not a lot. So my goal is a minimum of one coaching post per week. And I will assess how that is going and maybe do more, maybe do less. I don't know. Right now that's working well for me. And so the top, I'm just explaining like how I just, January was my biggest month, and financially how that helped me and my family. This one at the top right was actually me meditating, and something that I've learned through coaching. So how it's just helped me, become a more confident person at work and things like that, being able to relieve a little bit of stress. And which is really cool that I posted this last month in December, I think, that I paid 93% of my mortgage payment, because I think I like doubled that or almost doubled that in January, which is pretty cool. But anyway, and then also like recognizing other people on your team through your social media. Not only does it recognize another vital behavior of ours, but it also, again, like I said, maybe people relate to my coach Mariah because she's a mom and she is a nurse and all of these different things. And so I can share a little bit about her story, and some of my followers may relate to her story and say, oh, if she can do it, then, maybe I can do it. And so different things like that. A picture of, well, apparently I just love Mariah on this page. And just a little bit about friendships that I've gained, and then here just how it has strengthened my marriage since being a coach. So here are a few of my examples. And then other things that have been working well for me is, so I set business hours, which 80-day obsession, 80-day obsession has made it amazing for, because I'm so timed out like throughout my day. And the second I get home, I'm drinking my Energize and I'm doing my workout on my workout block. And then I'm eating my post-workout meal. And then it's like perfect. And I'm like, okay, awesome. So from 8 to 11, those are my business hours. But I didn't just sit down and make my business hours. I made sure to communicate with my significant other and say, like, these next 90 days are going to be batshit crazy. Like, there's going to be a lot of meal prepping. There's going to be a lot of me diving into my business, because I have big goals, and I really, really, really want to help people commit to this program like I am to a T and get results, like more than ever before. I think that's another huge thing that has changed for me. Like, I want to help people get results, like really, really badly, because that's why we do what we do, right? And it's something that I think haven't been quite as committed to in the past. I've helped them get started, and then in my mind it's like, well, the ball's kind of in their court, they're in my challenge group. But I'm like invested now in helping people reach their goals. And setting up your week in advance has been huge for me. And it's also kind of been the result of getting a little puppy, because I'm like, okay, well, when are you going to be home? When am I going to be home? And so working with my husband and really setting a schedule for us so that we know when, because I have been trying to cook a little bit more lately. It's kind of slacked in the last week. But anyways, so when he's going to cook dinner, when I'm going to cook dinner, when he's going to help me prep. And it's been great, the communication and really setting up our week in advance. And then scheduling more one-on-one time with me. At least an hour a week, whether it's in the tub, a walk, a massage, a mani-pedi, meditation, just whatever self-care. And again, it goes hand in hand with the self-reflection and personal development. I've realized I've got a lot of like internal crap to work through. And if you schedule a 1 hour like date with yourself, it's just brought me so much joy. And I've worked through already like a ton of stuff a ton of pain that I was suppressing for years that I didn't even realize. And so self-care has been huge for me, which again has been the result of 80-day obsession. And just focusing on the things in life that bring me joy, spending more time with my friends, I got a freaking dog like that I never thought would bring me joy, but apparently I'm a dog person. And spending more time with my niece and nephew, and just, even if it is not the funnest thing to do to drive 4 hours home, I'm doing it more because I know that it brings me joy. And with that, it like radiates off you into your business, on your social media presence, when you're having conversations with people. The more you seem like a more joyful, happy person, the more people that are going to want to join you and be on your team. So I think that might be all I have. Oh, and then, whoops. Well, and the last thing I just wanted to leave you with was, we were actually doing a little Coach Basics group the other day, and I was digging around in my Evernote to try to find some trainings, and I stumbled upon this why that I wrote in 2015. Now I'll just share with you all. My number one was money. I said, I feel like Brandon and I are drowning in debt. We both have great jobs and salaries, but with $1,800 combined just in monthly college loans, I said I wasn't going to cry on this call. It definitely makes things challenging. Our debt to income ratio is too high to get approved for a house we would actually want, so we have to rent. I want my own house, my own backyard, my own swimming pool, etc. Tired of living in someone else's home that won't even let us have pets. I desperately want to be a crazy cat lady. I'm planning a wedding for next summer and would love to be able to pay for it with Beachbody money. I also want to start a family within the next few years. So yeah, more money is my number one. And it's just, how cool is it that I wrote that in 2015. Here I am in 2018. We're married. We had a beautiful wedding. We just built our new house, and I'm not a crazy cat lady, but apparently a crazy dog mom. So it's just crazy what this business can do if you believe in yourself and you believe in this business and you just set goals and go for it. like this business can it's crazy what it can do for you and what it's done in the 4 years for me and my family. So that's all I had. I just wanted to share that with you. Does anybody have any questions or anything?
I don't have any questions, but I think that was pretty freaking amazing. So nice job. Yeah, there were a lot of weird comments made.
Kat would still be wearing those pants that you burned.
What? Still be wearing those pants I burnt in the backyard.
Rude. For those of you that don't know, Joan burnt my pants.
I did. I burned her pants. They were a fashion faux pas. Pants on fire. I just wanted to say, like, where did she go? Why can't we see everybody? I don't know what happened. Oh, I love that. Hello. Oh, good. I made it so I can see everybody. You know, it is. If you do this business and you do it right, it will change your life. And I think that's such a fantastic thing to look back on and have the ability to say, like, oh, this is legit, like what I wrote down for my why, and look what's happened. And I think, you know, Meg is another great example of that. And being able to leave her job. And for me, it's so fun to start watching other people leave their jobs and achieve some crazy stuff in this too, because it's one thing to always be like, oh, well, Joan quit her job and like have that one example, but it's so much better when like everybody on the team starts to get there. So I just think that's really cool. I think everything you said tonight was right on point, and this is probably a call that everybody should go back to and take like deeper notes on, and maybe save some of those scripts and kind of look at your process and what you're doing and what is working and what's not. And you know, if whatever you're doing is not working, talk to your coach, because this isn't a business that, you know, you just have to be someone that like gets it or that you're just special and like you succeed. It's a business that's duplicatable, and that's what's so cool is that Katie just told you how she did it, like exactly how she did it. And you can do that too. You just have to take it, be coachable, apply it, not just listen, not just show up on the calls, not just read the books, but actually go out there and take action. So I hope that's what you do. I think everybody should go have an awesome night. Bye. Thank you, Katie.